And we're back. Today we're going to talk about working in coloring pencil, which is a very underestimated media. A lot of people think, I know how to use coloring pencils. I've been using them since elementary school. And some of you may have really mastered the art of using coloring pencil, but a lot of times we're just not getting the full capacity of color and richness of surface that you can really get from coloring pencil. So, video 3, working in coloring pencil. Let's flip to a new page. Now, if you didn't use your entire paper for your coloring pencils or for your Sharpies, you could probably double up a page because this will be about a half of a page of work. And I got a little smudge work on my paper. I'm just going to clean up this piece of paper before getting started. Okay, there we go. Ready to go. Don't want to waste a paper because there's smudges. So I've got my coloring pencils. I've got my my ruler. I have a sharpener handy. You want to make sure to be careful with coloring pencils. Just like the ebony pencil, this coloring pencil material that's encased in wood is real soft. So if you've ever had the experience of your sharpening a pencil and then this whole chunk just kind of comes right out, that happens because that interior coloring pencil material is just so soft. It may have gotten dropped, or somebody might have used it as a drumstick, and it's just sort of broken up inside that wood casing. And it's just going to keep coming off in chunks. So be very careful, gentle and loving with your coloring pencils when you are using them. So we're going to talk about some of the tips and tricks to using coloring pencils. So I'm going to go ahead and label my page. And we are going to talk about 1, pressure, 2, using white coloring pencils to blend. And then we're going to talk about 3, blending colors. All right, so those are our tasks for this page. All right, so first of all, pressure. Let's pick a nice color. I'm going to pick this nice teal color that my set came with. Just use whatever colors you have. You could pick your favorite color. When most people use coloring pencils, I see a lot of this. And look at how nice and tidy that is. I see a lot of people who are very clean and neat and tidy with their coloring. But here's the problem with this. This is not the full color. This is the full color. This color that's on the pencil. This isn't the full color of my coloring pencil. I'm not really getting the full impact of this green-blue coloring pencil that I'm using. Another thing is, see those little white speckles there? Those grains of paper showing through my pale light coloring, that's going to be a little bit of a distraction in my artwork. Remember, mark making means every mark made by the artist is important. And that includes the marks that are left by your marks. So these little white grains of paper peeking through, that's part of your mark making, and that's part of your artwork. And that graininess is now going to translate into whatever you're trying to do in your artwork. And it may become very visually distracting. So what we want to do instead is press down and layer. Putting additional pressure and layering gets you that full color. And if you go 2 directions, that always helps because it gets rid of a lot of that graininess. I'm not going to see those little white specks nearly as much, and the color is going to really come out. Now, you might say, but Ms. Horn, I wanted a light version of my color. I don't want that dark color. So here is the trick. Maybe I want this nice light color, but instead of leaving it so grainy, I want to make it feel a little bit more solid. So here's where the magic coloring pencil comes in, and that is your white coloring pencil. So a lot of people don't understand why there's a white coloring pencil in your set, and it's always that one that's left over. People who really know how to use coloring pencils, though, this is the first one to go. You end up using this first because your white coloring pencil isn't really in the set to provide a white color, because oftentimes you're working on white paper. The paper provides white. What this pencil is for is blending. If I use my white coloring pencil and I press down, I'm putting some serious pressure. If I press down, what happens is I fill in that color and I'm creating a really nice solid color now. You can see the difference between that grainy color and that nice solid color. The white blends together my coloring pencil, my light coloring pencil. It makes it feel a little bit more solid. And the same thing happens if I'm blending colors. So let's say I would like to blend this green and then turn it into more of a lime green. So I'm going to make my little value scale here where I get lighter and lighter and lighter in value. And I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to start from the other direction and kind of overlap that so that I have that kind of fade. And now to make that feel more fluid, I'm going to take my white coloring pencil and move across those two colors. I'm going to blend them so that they have a little bit more of a fluid blending. So you can really create better blends of colors. So if I'm trying to make, maybe I'm trying to make like a stem on a plant. And you notice that those plants often have lots of hidden colors. I might use multiple colors to create different shadows and effects. Add a little bit of blue in because maybe it feels like it's a little bit of a blue-green color. Maybe I'll put a dash of yellow in there. Maybe I'll even add a little violet to create some shadows. And then when I'm all done with adding all of my different colors, I can use that white to press down and really solidify my colors and blend them together so I have a little bit of a smoother surface. There are tons of tutorials online, so if coloring pencil is something you're really interested in learning, I recommend, searching online for some coloring pencil tutorials. They're really great. Or you can ask me more questions. But the best thing to do is to practice with applying more pressure and layers. So this should really say pressure and layers, shouldn't it? Applying more pressure and layers, using that white to blend in and solidify your colors, and using that white to go over layered colors to blend them together and make them look really interesting. And that is how you should use your coloring pencils. And this is pretty much what I'm going to expect anytime coloring pencils are going to be used. I recommend working small when you're working with coloring pencils because all of this pressure can tire out the arms and the fingers a little bit. So you don't want to start on something too big until you've really mastered the art of coloring pencil. Now that you know that, though, you're pretty much set for our first drawing task, which will be in the upcoming Google Slides. Now that we have completed practicing coloring pencil and pencil and ebony pencil and ink. All right, I'll see you in the next video.